episode How to Learn JavaScript from Beginner to Advanced. Today I would like to learn you about how to looping through an object and array using for in and for each with images. Practically we will create together one gallery images, and for this should to do some steps. Firstly, for this goal, we need to have an HTML document. Now, we have here an simple HTML document, and inside this HTML document, I have a div with the ID gallery. Let me put some content here for see where is this div is here. And for example, if I want to add some background color, I can to put just for highlight this area, because in this area I will display my images, and you should to see where is here is my area where I display the images. I write here I will display my images with birds. Okay, here I will display my images. Good. And now I am nothing here. I don't have nothing, because should to create here in JavaScript between these tags script should to put my HTML code. Firstly, when you create a mini app or a mini document JS, you should to think this document. You should to think how is the structure of your code, because I want to create here a mini gallery, and I would like to create using an object. When you work in JavaScript, you can starting with arrays and accessing from array, but probably finally you will have to the end a lot of arrays. But if you create firstly an object, you have just an object with a lot of other properties, and you don't have a problem. But no problem if you put more arrays, no problem, because in the second stage, the second episode, to say something like, you can refactor your code, and you transform the array in an object. You delete array, and you make all with one object. Okay, let's create for begin an object. I create an object with two properties, with two birds, and for each bird I have an array of URL. I have here an object. This is my object, and I have in this object two elements. This is the first element, property rarc, and an array of URL, an array of images, and nightingale, the second property, and the value for nightingale is an array of URL. My goal is to display this value and title and properties key value from object to display it here where I have this background, green background. Okay, firstly I create this object with two properties, key lark value, an array of URL, key nightingale value, an array of URL with image URL is the value. Okay, now should to access this val. In the HTML I have just this element. Let's to make a reference to this, because we append to this element our title and our images. We create here, make a reference to our div with background green. Okay, with method get element by id. I don't use here now the query selector, but you can use query selector. It's better than get element by id. Okay, now should to iterate through my array, but initially I want to iterate just for display this property lark and nightingale. For this we have a method, we have a for in. When you will work with object, this for in is good, is better for iterate through key of an object. Let's iterate through key from our object. We have for the keyword and const. We put a name bird. This bird is the current element from my object. Current element is this for iteration 1, for iteration 2, and so on if you have more properties. Const bird is current property in, because I see for in I said before. Const bird in object. This is syntax for key in object. Key is bird. Object, the name of my object is bird object. Key in object. Okay. Now I write this line of code. My browser know when it see this line, he know to iterate through my key. Okay, but I would like to put in this loop, for in loop, I would like to put to create a title with hash1 heading 1, because I want to display this name lark and nightingale with a big letter, with heading 1, and I create this title variable, and I use document create element heading 1, and on this title I will put two attributes. First should to display, and I put text content. Okay, text content equal bird. Text content equal bird. What mean this? Mean that first iteration text content is lark, second iteration is nightingale, and after this I will append this on my container. Okay, let's see. When you write code, it's okay if you check with this console some variable. Okay, let's see. Console log bird, I have lark, and I have also nightingale. With this for in, I take this value key. No, I tell you, for in is used for take the key from an object, but I need to display these elements. Okay, let's see if appear here. Yes, lark and nightingale, and now I will change here the text, my birds. my birds, lark, nightingale. Okay, so far I get the property, the key from my object, but should to take also these images for each bird, for each key, should to display the images from my array. You can put in this array, I don't know, a lot of pictures. You can create a gallery for each bird with a number of pictures, no, images. Okay, inside this for in, I will put also a for each, but this for each will iterate through this array. For each will iterate through each value. No, I have more elements in array and should to use a loop for iterating. Sorry for my English. I didn't study in high school, in the school, but it's not excuse for me. I try to become better in each day. I practice. Okay, let's iterate with for each through these arrays, because we know we want to display the images from our arrays. For this we should to iterate with birds object of birds. Birds object is my object. Now let's see here, console.log console.log birds object. Let's see what we have here. Birds object are this object with lark and also with nightingale. Okay, but I would like to iterate through birds object of birds, object of birds, because I want of current bird, no, because I want to take the value. Birds object of key, should to iterate through birds object of key. And if I put here birds object of key, in my case key is bird, because bird is a current element. Do you see here birds object of bird are my arrays, just my arrays. This should to display it on my HTML. But how to do this? Iterating through them. And I iterate birds object that for each is a method for each, and the callback. We put current element URL. You can put here what do you want. Okay, arrow function, and inside just firstly we put a console.log where we display a URL image and the URL. Let's see what happens. Now our code is this: URL image and first pictures, URL image second, URL image second, again and again. Okay, but I want to display it in HTML. I want to display each URL into an image. Okay, image. If you want to display in an image, you should to create an image, because the browser don't know what is the next step. You should to speak with browser step by step, and all you should to write all for the browser should to understand you. And for this I will create an image, no? Document create element, but image for this time. Const image equal document create element image. Now I create a new image, and on this image we put a lot of attribute. You put source, for example. This source is important because this source is the element from my array. The source is URL dot trim cut the spaces that are before and after this URL. You put for safety. Okay, after we put alt is okay for search engine optimization. If you if you want that the browser found your content, no? Image.alt equal bird sorry is current element, no? You put this current element. Also we create some style. Is not recommended, but it's okay if you don't exaggerate. This CSS you should put in another file, but separate, but you have here just 2 lines is okay. And after all this you should to image, this image you should to append it to container. And if I make this switch, you see here you have a gallery image with birds using an object, and after iterate through this object for display the property, for display the name of birds, and for each iterate through arrays from my object for display these images. Okay, let me to make a summary for you what we learned in this episode. We learned that an object can have to in the value of arrays can have an array like value. Also we learn that how to use key in object, how to use for each, and also we learn that if we want to display something in HTML, should to create this element and append it. For example, here I use document create element heading 1, and I create this element, and after I create image for each element. Here I put CSS, and also here I put the alt. If you, for example, you can put here also other attribute. You can put image that title also equal bird. This title is okay when user go with mouse on image, you see is the bird, the name of bird. Also you can put an ID for each pictures, but if you use for with E, I don't know, in this case you can put just with E. Okay, let's analyze this code. What we can enhance this code, what improvements we can do for this code, but you can make interactive, make more interactive this bunch of code, but this is just for learning. All the best, have a nice day.